Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome, folks. Today, the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini preview, and today we're talking about Forge, designed by Wes Woodbury, with, I believe, all or most of the art, at least, by Wes Woodbury, also, and published by Fundamental Games. Now, what this game is this is a classic Euro-style contract fulfillment game. And in this game, you are taking on the role of a blacksmith and blacksmithing stuff. Done. Explained. And you're going to play roundabouts until eventually one person has dropped all of their hammers. Apparently that's like a blacksmithing thing that they say, I think. I don't know. I mean, I drop hammers, but like, it has nothing to do with blacksmithing. But anyhow, supposedly it's a thing. I don't know. If you're a blacksmith, let me know what that actually means. I don't know. But when you drop 5 hammers, I think it's 5 hammers, then the game's going to end and whoever has the most points is going to win. Now, for full clarity, I do actually have a physical prototype. I have not played the physical prototype. When Wes contacted me and asked me to do this, I told him straight up, I just am slammed. I just don't really have time. But that said, I like Wes. I like the care and love that he puts into his games. I said, well, okay, show it to me on TTS. And if I can, I will look at the prototype and play a game. And full disclosure, I did not. I've only played this on TTS, so this is very much a first look, first impressions video. Please keep that in mind. Though I have gone through the components and kind of looked at those. Now, in this game, what's going to be happening is you're going to be placing your workers out. You have 2 kinds of workers. You have your assistants, which are just workers that you can go and they just do whatever the basic ability is, and that's it. That's what they're going to do. And there's a whole bunch of different places that you can go. That might get you a recipe, it might get you different materials that you need, it might get you an upgrade for your basic workers, it might get you some other kind of upgrade where you're allowed to upgrade your actual forge and you can do more things, and as you increase that, you become more prestigious or whatever, you get more stars, that allows you to make better stuff. So you're sending out your workers kind of navigating all that. At the same time, you also have your actual blacksmith that you can send out. The blacksmith's going to be able to get you more stuff. It'll be more powerful, it might get you 2 things instead of 1 thing, etc., etc., etc. And there's a guild spot that only the blacksmith is able to go to. And at the beginning of each turn, you're doing a selecting of turn order, and depending on what position you take, that's going to give you a resource a la viticulture, that style of thing. Then at the end of each turn, everyone's going to get to pull all the pieces back, and you will get to forge 1 thing if you can. There's other ways that you can forge more things during the turn, but every turn you're going to get to forge at least 1 thing. When the game ends, you are going to score your points based off of what you've already scored. You might have some cards that you've collected along the way that are going to give you bonus points at the end of the game for building a certain kind of item or fulfilling a certain kind of contract, I should say. And there's also a set collection at the end, because every single thing that you build, forge, I guess I should say, that is the name of the game, right? It's not called build, it's called forge. Everything that you forge has a different seal on it. And there are 7 different colors of these seals, and you're going for a set collection bonus there as well. And then whoever has the most points is going to win the game. So, what do I like about this game? Well, the first thing that I like is I do like that the core mechanic of the game is tied to something that's going to happen every turn. You do not have to do anything to forge. You're going to be able to forge at least once every turn. And depending on how long the game looks like it's going to go, you may want to spend your workers to do additional things. So I do like that. I like that you're not having to spend a worker to do that. I always enjoy that kind of thing. I also enjoy the way the blacksmith works, how it's able to kind of go and get different abilities that maybe the assistant couldn't. I like the more powerful blacksmith, the more powerful worker that you're putting out there. And I also think that works particularly well. And in most worker placement games, I think it just works. I appreciate the in-game mechanic, which is this dropping out of your hammers, which are done by fulfilling certain benchmarks. Be the first person to do 4 contracts or get 4 upgrades. Or I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, but whoever's out there first is going to get more points than everybody else as they're kind of pushing the end of the game. So it kind of allows you to read the table and say, ooh, I better get moving because I don't want to wind up being the last person here who hasn't done something or gets the lowest amount of points for each of these different achievements as you're working through. And I think all of that works really well. I think the various types of I think the overall set collection at the end of the game works very well as well. And in general, your hearing is it's a very clean, quick, easy to play and understand contract fulfillment worker placement game. So with that said, what are my quibbles with the game? Well, it's not reinventing the wheel here. This is a contract fulfillment Euro game. And that's what it is. Yes, there are some things that are very clever the way it works, but nothing in here is something you haven't seen before. And while I think they're all put together in a very lovely package, it's not a unique game. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I do think it all works together, and it's a quick game, which I appreciate, but just something to keep in mind. I also am not sure yet about the 3 different types of things you make. They're all broken down as is military, is it common, is it noble, and after only one play, again, only one play, I don't know that having to get stuff from the 3 different spots really pays off a lot, other than it just kind of has more positions and gives you more things to think about. Yes, there are various cards that you can get that will give you bonuses, and so perhaps that is just where it is. It's in that bonus that you can get as you're going through. If you get the right upgrades, you're going to get bonuses for every common or every noble or military contract that you fulfill. But other than that, I don't know that's necessary. Though I hesitate to make it a quibble just because, again, I've played once, and that's just an initial thought. Though I certainly did get points for digging deep into the commoner contract. So perhaps something to consider, perhaps not. And then I only have 2 other things to bring up. One of them is, after looking through the prototype, I think this is a game that is going to really shine with a higher funding level. And what I mean by that is some of the upgrades that you're going to get through stretch goals I think are really going to help. I think a double layered board is just, it's not needed, but will be very, very nice to have as you're putting the hammers out there just so they can just slot into the spot instead of kind of sitting on a board. As your own little boards, you're upgrading things that they can kind of slot in there. I think that's going to add a lot to the game, but that's not going to be something that's going to start at the base level is my guess. I don't know that for sure, but it's really going to benefit from something like that. Beyond that, I think the components are nice. It's, pleasant to look at. I actually like the art in the contracts, the little kind of pencil, charcoal drawing looking things. Those are actually very cool. I like that. And my only other thing that I want to bring up is one of the things you have to do is you have to have the right number of stars, reputation, or prestige, whatever it is, to do certain contracts. And it's very clear how you get 4 stars. Exceedingly clear, exceedingly simple to do. You just have to spend the resources in the right places. However, to get 5 stars, you have to dig and get certain upgrades. And in theory, it is possible that you can't get one, or that you are the one who's drawing and it just doesn't turn up. And in theory, it is possible that all of the contracts out there are 5 stars, and you can't do them. Now, I did talk with Wes about this after we played the game, and he said that the odds of that happening are minuscule because of the number of 5-star contracts in each stack, but it did happen when we played, and that might be something that is frustrating. Now, this is one minor thing in one small spot, but it did pop up, and so that's just the type of thing that I would be looking for. Now, with all of that said, I actually enjoyed this game quite a bit. Now, it helped that I whooped them, but it's an enjoyable game. It takes contract fulfillment, and it just focuses on that. And it reminds me a lot of Steve Finn games. And I like Steve Finn games. They're always very, very simple, and they focus on one mechanic really, and they really focus on it hard, and they do it well. And I think Forge does that. I think Forge is doing contract fulfillment very well. You just have to be interested in that. You just have to be interested in being, I'm a medieval blacksmith, not a fantasy blacksmith, a medieval blacksmith, and this is what I'm doing. I'm making plates. I'm making a metal bathtub. I'm making some knives or swords or a cross. That's what you're doing. With that being said, if you're down with that and you're looking for contract fulfillment or worker placement, it's an exceedingly pleasant game, and I think it's probably the best game that Wes has put out so far. Though, to be fair, there's one of them I haven't played yet. One of them that was a bit based around I can't remember the name of it, but it was a deck of tarot cards. And so that one I actually never played, but out of all the other ones I played, I actually enjoy this one the most. I think it's just one that for the Euro fan that's looking for something light, not quite a filler. It's hard to have a filler game that's going to take an hour, but it's almost like a filler meaty Euro, which is kind of unique, I guess, because it feels so simple and easy to play, but it's got some meat to it, but it plays pretty quick. So there you have it, folks. That is my first thought impressions of Forge, so there you have it, folks. That was my first thought impressions of Forge. I guess it's just Forge. There's no exclamation at the end. Wes, think about putting an exclamation or like 4 at the end of that. It might make the game pop even more. Well, all in all, I enjoyed it. I think if you're a Euro fan, check it out. See what you think. Wes is a great guy. Throw him some support. And as always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.